Coach Stone Podcast.
Coach Stone Podcast number 28. I want to thank everyone listening to the Coach Stone Podcast. I want to thank iHeartRadio and BJ for having me on the show and letting me do my own podcast. I totally appreciate it. If you ever do miss an episode of any of my podcasts, go to my website for more information about podcasts, blogs, books, tips, free PE games, and my sponsors on the bottom. I want to thank all of them. The website is CoachStoneFootball.com. Also, what I want to do is remember, everyone, if you haven't seen my books, Back to the Basics Football Drill Manuals, I highly recommend them. They are on Amazon.com. Hardcovers and Kindles. There are 5 tackle books and 1 flag book. Over 2,000 pages of football drills and content in the tackle versions. And then with the flag, it's another 500 pages. So without further ado, I want to introduce my next guest this time for Coach Stone Podcast number 28. It's Becky Sharpe, CEO/owner of Collegiate Sports Data. Becky, are you on?
I'm here, Coach. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for doing this, and I apologize. We were playing phone tag all day today, and then we finally got this done. So, Becky, before we start, I just want to give the audience a run of the show, and thank goodness we have a pretty person on, because now I'll have about 20 more thousand listeners than the only 4 I always have listening. But the game plan is pretty simple, Becky. We have a pregame. We have a kickoff question. After the kickoff question, we'll have a first drive question for you. Then we'll go into halftime, have some water, listen to the marching band do their thing. Come back from halftime, do a kick return question, a second drive question, 2-minute warning question, and then if we have time and we need some more time, we'll do overtime. If not, it'll be the end of the game, and then we'll call it all there she wrote. So are you ready to rock?
I am ready to roll.
Okay, so pregame is very simple. Becky, tell us about yourself and your company, please.
Well, thanks so much, Coach Stone. So, again, I'm Becky Sharpe, owner and CEO of Collegiate Sports Data. I didn't start the company, but it was started by a former high school and then college football coach and a tech guy that realized that coaches at that time, believe it or not, high school coaches, were receiving mailed postcards every year going, hey, who do you have that can play ball at the collegiate level? And the coaches would fill these out and mail them back. Fast forward 30 years, Collegiate Sports Data has moved on now. We're a recruiting service. We are free to high schools and all athletes and families. We do not monetize the relationship with them. What we do, Coach Stone, is we survey every high school football coach in the country, ask them who they have that can play ball and at what level. So the data that we collect, then we sell to the college programs nationwide. And so this is data that comes from high school coaches. So it's not the athlete, it's not the athlete's family, it's the actual high school coaches who say, these are the kids you need to be looking at, JUCO non-qualifier, all the way up to D1 starter and everything in between.
So before I ask you more questions, the one thing I really like, Becky, what I heard is 2 things. 1, it's free, correct? And
absolutely,
2,
free to high schools.
That's true, and to all athletes. And 2, and that'll be a question down the road we have in our podcast. But 2, the other thing I like what you said is the high school coaches are the ones filling out the data. So pretty much, I remember when I was a young player, and like they would say, like I had all these like things in the mail. You know how back in the 90s, you know, you'd get like so many phone calls like saying, hey, I can get you to Division I, I can get you here. But at the end of the day, you know, I went to Division II NAIA, and I'm thinking to myself, if I get paid $20,000 or $10,000 at the time that they were asking, and I got the same scholarship I got with nobody helping me but my high school coach. So what I like is what you said is your high school coaches that are coaching your kid now, those are the ones that are giving the evals to those college coaches and rating the players like the college coaches rate the players now, correct?
100% correct.
That's awesome.
And we're just.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, what I want to do is I want to make sure they get all the social media. But go ahead, say your question and then give all the social media.
Well, what I was going to say is I think it's so easy, especially as a parent and the athlete, to get drawn in that you have to pay to get recruited. And It's just not true. I mean, there are only 19,000 and change roster spots every year. There are only going to be so many kids who can play, and these agents that go out there and tell kids they have to pay to be recruited, frankly, they're still in a non-true reality. So we don't like to see that, and we try to educate high school coaches and families and kids that the data that we provide is legit and it's also free. But you asked about social media.
In Florida.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like that swamp land. Hey, I got great land in Florida for you, Becky, if you ever want it.
There you go. We got a bridge somewhere to sell to you.
Go ahead, go to social media. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, so it's at CSD, Collegiate Sports Data, CSD_Nashville. Nashville is where our headquarters is, and our .com site is collegiatesportsdata.com.
Awesome. So the first one was Twitter, correct?
Correct.
And then do you guys have Instagram and Facebook?
Let's see. We're really Twitter and our .com site.
All right, perfect. So if everyone's listening to this thing, please go and like them, follow them on Twitter, and then please go to their website, too, to see what they have. Okay. So, Becky, let's do this. We're going to go to commercial break, and then we'll come back with the first question, okay?
Excellent.
Perfect. Coach Stone, podcast number 28. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
The safety of your players is more important than ever. As the game changes to protect the players, TackleTube USA is a leading way with the original innovative product design, not only to practice safer, but promote and teach the best tackling technique. Invented in 2009 by professional rugby player and coach Glenn Remnant, TackleTube allows the players to simulate real game situations, track and tackle a moving target, promote great body position, and improve technique and timing. Coaches in the U.S. and all over the globe are using TackleTube to promote a safer and more effective way to tackle. Unlike other bags that have a limited use, there are many ways to use a TackleTube in your practice, both in season and out of the season. Drills for every position. TackleTube never needs to leave the practice field. Check us out at TackleTubeUSA.com or on our YouTube channel and all social media. Look for TackleTube USA.
Coach Stone, podcast number 28, back from commercial break. I have Becky Sharpe, CEO and owner of Collegiate Sports Data. Becky, here we go. Kickoff question, first one. What exactly is Collegiate Sports Data? Go.
We are a free recruiting service. What we do is we survey every high school football coach in the country and ask them, hey, coach, who do you have that can play ball at what level collegiately? And they may have a JUCO non-qualifier all the way up to a D1 starter, everything in between. We collect their primary, secondary, special teams position if it applies, height, weight, 40 speed, links to video, and then all that, again, is free to athletes, free to high schools. The high school coaches are the ones that tell us what level these kids can play, and then we provide that to colleges nationwide.
Awesome. And then, I really like what you're saying is, like, you threw out a number earlier about 19,000 roster spots and everything. So I do have a follow-up question with that, what Collegiate Sports Data is. What are the college coaches saying about Collegiate Sports Data?
Well, what they're saying is that these guys, their work schedules are crazy. And so what they want is some way to find another hour in the day. So if they go out there and start Googling some kid and it takes them down a rabbit trail, it just ends up being a waste of time. So what they want is a consolidated database of, you're talking about 30 to 40,000 kids in a class year max who could potentially play ball, and that's across all levels. If you're talking about a D1 program, it's significantly less. And so what they want is a consolidated place to go where they're not wasting time watching a kid who really can't play at the level of their college.
Awesome. And then I'm sorry, I keep asking the questions before we go to the next one. What have you made since what's next? Pretty much not next. I would say when you took over the company, what did you expand on with it?
So as we talked about from the beginning, initially it was all handwritten. So everything was very, very manual. So what we've tried to do is we've talked to coaches and we let the coaches tell us what saves them time. So like the Collegiate Sports Data app that you can download in the App Store, gives them, it's simple, it's easy. They can see, it actually geolocates a college coach who might be on the road. So if I'm a recruiting guy and I'm out in Alabama and I don't know where I am, I can pop up my CSD app and see, oh, look, within 100 miles of my physical location right now, here all these kids are. And so it actually tells them who's in the vicinity. What they want are time-saving things. And then they also want push notifications, so we let them know, hey, guess what? This kid who's D1 level, we just got his GPA if it's a high academic school, or 40 times just been added. Maybe this was a kid who was a freshman who had a low weight, and now they have a higher weight. And so they want those push notifications on kids they're watching.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, let's do this. Let's go to commercial break again. When we come back, we'll go into the first drive question. And I think this one, everyone as a college athlete or a parent of sports need to listen to this one. So Coach Stone podcast number 28, Becky Sharpe, CEO/owner of Collegiate Sports Data. We'll be right back.
Go Army Edge Football is a free game-changing app that allows coaches to draw their plays with X's and O's like on a whiteboard, and then get the mental reps from the first person's perspective of any position on the field with real-time 3D graphics or virtual reality. Go Army Edge Football comes preloaded with many example plays and drills for concepts such as formation recognition and RPO reads. Any coach in any system can benefit from demonstrating in Go Army Edge Football, and every player can become a better football player with extra reps in the app. Go visit them on their Twitter or Facebook. Insert at Go Army Edge.
Coach Stone podcast number 28. I have Becky Sharpe, CEO/owner of Collegiate Sports Data. Becky, here we go. First drive question. And this is a good one that I told everyone to come back and listen to. What made Collegiate Sports Data different from other recruiting services? Go ahead.
Thanks for asking that. So we are a free service to high school athletes, coaches, families, so we never monetize a relationship with an athlete or a high school. Also, we're not venture capital owned or owned by a foreign subsidiary. We're a local U.S. company, actually women owned. That's sort of unique. And we're about helping get these kids a look. And so when these kids get a look, that's a win for us, and we want them to get a look without having to get out their checkbook. So that sort of rhymes, but it's the truth.
That's a new hashtag right there. Yeah, I put that as a hashtag. That'd be awesome. You know, and you're saying about high school coaches. Oh, I'm sorry. Say it again.
No, I said thank you. That's a great idea.
Oh, don't worry about it. What I liked is you said one, and I keep going back to this, and I apologize, Becky. It's one, you said the magic four-letter word, free. That's awesome. And then the one thing I like about it, too, and other recruiting services, and we won't mention anybody, but the high school coaches are evaluating the players. So then you don't have those false hopes. Because I know how long have you been doing Collegiate Sports Data for, Becky?
Business has been around for about 30 years. I bought the business 10 years ago.
So 10 years ago, and I guarantee you, like when I played, we had, let's say we had 10 guys, even though we had a roster of 50 back in the day, in the late mid-'90s, late 90s, we had about 50 guys. 10 of them were getting looks, right? 10 of them, except, I'd say 8 of them, decided to do a recruiting service. I did not. What's funny is I'm the one that stayed with it the whole time, and maybe one other guy did. But here's the thing. They spent money for the exact same thing that I did for free. And maybe I didn't go Division I, but I ended a good career, and I think it's even when you're overseas, right? So anyone overseas that has a coach, right, if the coach is reliable and stuff and send you guys stuff or whatever, they could use it in other countries too, correct? Not just the United States of America.
Oh, you're absolutely right, is that we want to give kids a look regardless of where they are. If they can play ball in the United States, we want colleges to know about them.
Yeah. So the good thing is anybody listening right now, ask your coach to send some stuff to Collegiate Sports Data. Just do the thing with their website, contact them, especially if you're overseas. If you're a high school coach in the United States, hey, Becky says it's already they already got it going. It's going boom, 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 and it's going. The cool thing about it, though, is everyone has to do it. And I don't mean to say it again, Becky, and I apologize. It's free. So instead of someone spending $10,000 like in Australia to go to a college, and then they have to go to a JUCO or walk out in Division I. This program could help you get there. And Becky, I heard you say a geolocator. I mean, so pretty much it's like a dot on a map, right? So there's like a red dot on the map, and that's not really a player. It's like a school, right? That's how it works. That's what I saw it look like.
That's exactly right. So when you pull up the app, if I'm in Anniston, Alabama, or Santa Cruz, wherever it may be, it'll tell me where the high schools are that have players within, and you can set a filter. You can say, tell me what's within 20 miles or 200 miles of me. And then when you click on that school, it'll show you all the prospects that, to repeat that the high school coach says can play ball at the collegiate level. And their level of play will be rated. D1, D2, D3, you'll see all the data that we have on them. The high school athletes can add things like their Twitter handle that the coach might not know, or their mobile number, and they're updating their profiles all the time.
That's awesome. What we'll do, Becky, let's end right there. Let's go to halftime. We're going to have a commercial with halftime, and then when we come back, we'll do the kick return question, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Coach Stone Podcast, number 28, Becky Sharpe, CEO/owner of Collegiate Sports Data. We'll be right back.
Brunch, $30.
Hey, that's okay, Wendy. That was a good carry. You're still the man. You're the man.
Latte, $4.
Shake it off, Johnny. Rub some dirt on it.
New piano, $3,000.
All right, guys. They're not saying boo. They're saying movers.
Supporting your team. Priceless.
All right, Bobby. You still got the best arm in the neighborhood.
There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
This is decaf, right?
Safe contact, sound fundamentals. Tackle bar football is a safer approach that preserves the tradition and fundamentals of the football game. What is tackle bar football? Tackle bar football is a safer approach to the game that preserves the tradition and spirit of the sport. Players wear traditional football equipment plus a tackle bar harness that holds 2 foam bars across the lower back. The defender must attract and engage with a proper form tackling technique while wrapping the ball carrier and ripping a bar from the harness. With this approach, players stay on their feet rather than taking the ball carrier to the ground. Tackle bar. Do you preach about ball security? Is getting better each day something you strive to do? Do you want to work to eliminate fumbles? The High and Tight Teaching Football is a revolutionary design football that encompasses virtually every method known to eliminate fumbling, thus maximizing your opportunity to be victorious. The High and Tight Teaching and Training Football is state-of-the-art patented football that gives athletes and those around instant, audible feedback when you are holding the football correctly, high and tight, thus closing the gap between the wrist and the body and the elbow and the body. Whether you're a player, utilize the wing tee carrying with 2 hands over the ball, or a pro style against their body, High and Tight provides an audible alert when proper hold is executed correctly. Start to create habits that win games with teaching your players how to carry the ball high and tight. Order yours today at highandtight.com. Use promo code Coach Stone to save.
And we're back from halftime. We had to get a water break and do some X's and O's. And it's really cool because me and Becky, we talked about some cool things. She likes to ride a bike and everything, and she loves karaoke. I just want you guys to know that. But this is Becky Sharpe, CEO/owner of Collegiate Sports Data. Becky, here we go. We're going to receive the ball right here. Here's your question for the kick return question. Does Collegiate Sports Data have other partners?
Oh, by the way, you're right. I do love karaoke. I'm not good at it. I'm not talented, but I'm one of those. I always get the Coaches Award for most enthusiasm.
Awesome.
Yes, we do. So actually our most recent partner we're really excited about is Watch Game Film. And so Watch Game Film has been around for about 10 years as well. It's a very mature game film exchange system that's super affordable. So for high school teams, is as inexpensive as $100 a year. That's why we're really excited about them, because does not price gouge. And as a mission-based company, what we're trying to do is help kids get a look and help high schools not have to break their budget to help either use film to celebrate if it's a youth program or evaluate if it's a competitive high school program. So they're one of our newest partners, and we're really excited about working with them.
You know, I like them too. I just want you to know because, one, unlimited storage. And like you said, the price point is really good for what they do.
Yeah, and the coaches are just raving about it because they're getting price gouged. And it goes back to that free service, is that when a high school kid needs to get a look, that kid shouldn't be paying to get a look. And companies that take advantage of that, I don't think they're ethical.
Got it. All right, that's perfect. Let's do this, Becky. We're going to go to commercial break. We're going to go to a second drive question when we come back. It'll be cool because then if people want to come see it, that's what the question is going to be about. Coach Stone Podcast number 28, Becky Sharpe, CEO/owner of Collegiate Sports Data. We'll be right back.
What legacy will you leave as a coach? The three-dimensional coaching framework empowers coaches at every level to fulfill their transformational purpose by helping them become fundamentally sound, skilled at coaching the mind, and focused on developing the heart. Are you needing to take courses to meet professional development or recertification requirements? If so, check out the different online 3D coaching course offerings at 3dinstitute.com. You can even take the 3D coaching course for 3 graduate credits. Make sure you use the coupon UNITEALL to save 10% on your entire cart. That's UNITEALL, no spaces, all one word, at 3dinstitute.com.
Coach Stone Podcast number 28, back from commercial break. Becky Sharpe, CEO/owner of Collegiate Sports Data. Becky, here we go. Second drive question. What, if people wanted to come to you, what trade shows do you do, clinics does your company attend?
Oh, thanks for asking that. We're pretty convention-focused. So actually this year convention is going to be in Nashville, also known as AFCA. So we always attend convention. I just got back from the Texas High School Coaches Association meeting. We tend to go to convention, and then other than that, we reach out to all the high school coaches telephonically to collect data on their kids. And that's one way that we're able to stay free, again, is that we don't spend a bunch of money at booths nationwide, but instead the coaches, because they know us, they've been working with us for 30 years, provide us with that data on the kids.
Awesome. That's awesome. Question is, when you went to the high school association, how did that all, how was that?
Oh, it was fabulous. I mean, it was a lot of time on our feet. Coaches are talking to us all the time, and we spend that time asking questions and listening. What do they want? And what the coaches want is easier ways to get their kids a look. And so we hear that, and then what we want to do is disseminate their information to all the college coaches in the country.
That's awesome. Well, let's do this now, Becky. We're done with this thing. We have a 2-minute warning question. What I want to do now is this. With 2 minutes, give me some words of wisdom with Collegiate Sports Data or with yourself. Just give me some words of wisdom. The floor is yours. 2-minute warning. Go.
Oh, wow. 2-minute warning right now. Words of wisdom. If you're not great at it and you don't love it, don't do it. Like, I think people get stuck in mediocrity because they like something and they're good at it, and they spend their time in like and good as opposed to love and be great at. And so we really try to focus on that as doing the things that we love doing. It gets us up in the middle of the night all the time, and that we're also great at. And what we love and are great at is maintaining that trusting relationship with the high schools, because in 30-plus years, we've never monetized the relationship with kids. And we get hit up all the time from organizations saying, hey, can we send these kids something to buy? And our answer is no. So word of wisdom is stick to your core values all the time, even when you're not being watched, and good things will happen.
That was really good. I think that was really, really good. I think I'm speechless. I don't know. You know what I have to say? That it's the end of the game. We're done. So what I need to do is I need to wrap up, and I really don't want to wrap up because we're doing such a great thing. So before we let you go, Becky, you got to do me a favor. To end on the 2-minute warning, tell everybody again the Twitter handle and the website so they can do the free, look at the free recruiting service you have to offer.
Sure. It's collegiatesportsdata.com, and CSD_Nashville is Twitter. Hit me up either of those places, And Coach Stone can also get you in touch with me personally if there's a way I can help you out.
Awesome. Perfect. I want to thank again iHeartRadio, BJ. Thank you so much for everything. Remember, if you ever miss an episode of any of my podcasts, you can listen to them on iTunes. Also, remember, go to my website for old podcasts, blogs, books, tips, and free PE games at www.coachstonefootball.com. Also, I recommend when you go to my website, go to the bottom of the website for promo codes of all the products that I think that would help you as a coach or a player, and some you will hear during commercial breaks during the podcast. Becky, I want to thank you very much. What I'd like to do, and I got to still read some more stuff, but I would love to see if I can get your logo on the bottom to show players from all over the country and stuff, have their coaches talk to you and get them signed up so they can get their dot, their school or their team dot in that spot, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Remember, if you haven't seen, my books are also Back to the Basics Drill Manuals. I want to highly recommend them. It's on Amazon.com, hardcover and Kindle. There are 5 tackle books out in one flag book, over 2,000 pages of drills and content. Volume 5, the coaching edition, will be coming out soon. And also, before that will be the Tackle Bar book, Tackle Bar edition with the tackle wheel. Again, Coach Stone podcast number 28, Becky Sharpe, CEO/owner of Collegiate Sports Data. Becky, thank you so much again.
Thanks so much, Coach Stone. Great talking to you.
Perfect. I'll leave all my listeners on this. Always remember, instilling confidence by laying a foundation. Thank you very much, and have a great day, everyone.
Coach Stone Podcast.